everything I needed to learn about leadership, I learned from my flight instructor at 7,500 feet in the air. My flight instructor, Tom, and I were flying around our local area. I was kind of new to flying, so we were flying around, going through some maneuvers, and suddenly Tom says, "Hey, what's that off your left wing?" So I looked out the windscreen. It was a clear day, you could see forever. But I looked out and I didn't really see anything. I said, "Tom, what did you see? What are you looking at?" As I was distracted, Tom reached over and pulled the throttle all the way back, basically putting the engine in neutral. I don't know if you've ever been in a little plane like this. It's very loud in the cockpit. Very loud. That cockpit was... And you've probably experienced it riding with somebody in a car where they take their foot off the gas and that momentum carries you just out of your seat just a little bit. That's what it felt like. The plane was hanging there midair. I was lifted out of my seat just a little bit, and it was... And I spun around to Tom with my eyes about this big, and I said, "What the hell happened?" Well, Tom was looking at me, this silly grin on his face, his big aviator sunglasses on. And he looked at me smiling, which seemed totally out of place, because I'm totally freaking out, right? He smiled, and he says, "You've just lost your engine. What do you do now?" I'd like to say that I handled it like an adult. I'd like to say that I was calm and as cool as he was, but I wasn't. I was new to flying, and I was a little freaked out. I thought something had actually happened to the plane. But then I saw Tom's smirky kind of confidence, and I realized, oh, okay, this is a lesson. He wanted me to learn and to feel that moment of panic. He wanted me to feel that panic. Because if I'm flying alone and something were to happen, I'm going to feel that. We need to get through that emotion and get back to the activity of flying, right? So I'm looking around the cockpit, what do I need to do? What do I need to do? And Tom said, "Stop, take a breath, and remember your training." And he reminded me of this mantra that he taught us in ground school, and something that he made us repeat over and over, right? If anything happens in midair, slow down and stop. And so I repeated out loud to him. Aviate, navigate, and communicate. Okay? So I'm a business coach, leadership coach. I work with businesses all over. I used to fly every Monday morning and fly home every Friday. So I put in a lot of miles on planes all around the U.S., Canada, Mexico, the UK, Europe. And as a private pilot, I fly quite a bit too. So flying has always been a big part of my life, what I do. I draw from that experience to pull analogies and stories and stuff like that to work with my coaching clients. So whether we're one-to-one coaching or group coaching, I'll use analogies to take them out of the problems they're having in their business and teach them something, right? We've kind of grown up learning from stories and analogies and parables and things like that. So I try to draw from stories from my flying experience. In talking with business leaders and franchise owners and stuff like that, I find that a lot of them are so deep into their business. The day-to-day stuff in their business, right? They're sucked down, working too much in the business, not enough on their business. So by telling stories, I can take them out of where they are, teach them something about leadership, about growth, about systematizing their business, and then they can take those lessons back in their business and start working on that stuff. So I do draw from lessons. I've read a couple books. The first book I wrote was called Flight Planning, a pilot's guide to business success. I use the analogy of the flight plan that all pilots file and link that to the business's strategic plan, right? Where are you now? Where do you want to be? And what's the best path to get there? The other book, Barnstorming, a pilot's guide to growing your business. And I think we've got a copy of that for all of you after, so you know the beginning copy of that. How many entrepreneurs do I have in the audience? Entrepreneurs. Awesome. Very cool. The Barnstormers were entrepreneurs, right? They came back from, they were pilots in World War I. They came back. There were no jobs for pilots at the time, right? Commercial aviation wasn't really there yet. But they loved to fly, so they created their own business. They created their own niche. They created their own marketing and sales and joint ventures to try to grow their business. So there are a lot of similarities between flying and business. But today we're talking about leadership. We want to talk about leadership, and I want to introduce you to the PIC, the Pilot in Command. How that pilot uses that mantra of aviate, navigate, and communicate to run the business of flying. Now, most of you guys have probably been on a commercial airline, right? When you step on a plane, kind of look to the left to see who's up there driving. Usually you'll see 2, sometimes 3 pilots up front. Now the captain, the PIC, is in the left seat. The first officer is over on the right, and if there's a flight engineer or another flight officer, they'd be in there too. Usually 2 to 3. The pilots, they could both or all 3 be captains, but there's only one PIC, the pilot in command. In fact, the entire plane could be filled, all the passenger seats could be filled with people with the rank of captain. There's still only one PIC. The pilot in command is responsible for the airplane. They sign out the airplane, they're responsible for the flight, they're responsible for the crew, and they're responsible for the safe transport of everybody on that plane. Right? So anything that happens on the plane, they don't have to be running the controls the entire time, but they're responsible for everything that is happening on that plane. They're responsible for this. Okay? Now, you've probably read books about leadership traits and characteristics and flying. There's videos on YouTube and Instagram and TED Talks, if you like TED Talks, on leadership qualities and traits. You're going to hear a lot about leadership qualities and traits here today. I decided I didn't want to talk about how to be a leader. I wanted to talk a little bit about how to think like a leader. When those things happen in your business, so you can step up, remember your training, and go back to the business at hand, right? Not get stuck in the issue that's going on. So with your permission, if that's okay, for the next 30 minutes or so, I would like to be your business coach. Would that be okay for a second? For 30 minutes or so? I want to be your business coach and walk you through this mantra, teach you what I learned, the lesson that I learned a long time ago that's something, the lesson that I teach my business coaching clients. And it's all about aviate, navigate, and communicate. Now, how many of you would say you're leaders? I want to get those hands up. Every one of you is a leader. Whether you think you are or not, whether you want to or not, or intend to be a leader, we are all leaders. Like I said, that quote that I read earlier was from the U.S. Army's manual on crew resource management. And it says that a leader is anyone whose ideas and actions influence the behaviors of others, right? The actions and behaviors of others. Anyone whose ideas and actions influence the thoughts and behaviors of others. So we're all leaders. If you think about it, how many times have you either had a child or a student, in school, or somebody come up to you and say, I did this because I saw you, or you inspired me to do that. We inspire the people around us all the time, whether we know it or not. Dan Cathy, he posted a story about his dad, Truman Cathy, who was approached by a little 6-year-old boy who taught him a little lesson. The little boy came up to Truman and said, when I grow up, I want to be just like you. And Truman Cathy thought, what did I do to deserve this kind of recognition? But when you think about it, kids are always watching. People, our colleagues, our family and friends, they're all watching us to see what we do. And then they're taking in those actions that we have and modeling that action, right? You may have seen it yourself. If you go up and open the door for somebody and let them go in, you see them hold the door for the next person, right? They're kind of paying it forward. You see somebody struggling, you help them, and you see other people come over and try to help. Somebody drops something, you go help them pick it up, and somebody will come up and help, right? You're demonstrating leadership, and other people are coming up because you broke that ice. You know how sometimes at a dance club or a party or something like that, the music will start, and everybody sits there waiting. And then one person will get up there and start dancing, and then everybody gets up and dances. That leader has to take that first step forward and break the ice and say everything is okay. And those little actions, opening the door, helping people lift things, helping people pick things up, to me, that's leadership, right? Because really, what does a leader do? They remove the barriers that keep people from being successful. They help them carry those loads so that they can be successful. They open doors for people. That's what leadership is. So, we're all leaders. whether you wanted to or not, whether you knew it or not or intended it or not. One thing I want to talk about is that mantra. AVIATE, navigate, communicate. How does that fit in with being a leader? How do you apply that? Okay, to think like a leader. So first, there it is, AVIATE. What does AVIATE mean? AVIATE basically means fly the damn plane. All right? I'm up at 7,500 feet and the engine is out. What do? I panicked at first, I admit it, okay? But I'm responsible for that plane. I'm responsible for the guy flying with me. I need to aviate, fly the plane. You're in business. Your job is to run your business, the business of business. Whatever else is going on, you need to focus on that. Okay? You can delegate things to other people, but it's up to you to actually keep that business running. If your business stalls, you may not get started. If your business fails, everything's lost. You cannot get caught up in the minutia of what's happening. If you do, there could be real trouble. United Airlines, Flight 173, was on the final leg of the journey. It started off at JFK, was landed in Denver, Colorado, took on some fuel, and it was headed up to Portland, Oregon. It was a clear day, everything was fine, the flight was good. The flight from Denver to Portland was supposed to take about 2 hours and 26 minutes. And according to the flight plan and the management system, they should have had about 31,900 pounds of fuel on board. The plane actually had 47,000 pounds of fuel, so plenty for that 2.5-hour flight. As the plane approached Portland, they started putting landing gear down. Normally, the landing gear comes down and locks in the place. You've all heard it on commercial planes, right? This time, there was a loud bang, and the aircraft shuddered a little bit. That and the lights not coming on showed them that they had a problem with the landing gear. So the pilot in command, the captain, requested a holding pattern so they could work on getting the landing gear fixed. So they were placed into a holding pattern for an hour. So for the next hour, they focused on getting the landing gear down and locked in place. What the PIC neglected to do was to aviate, to fly the plane, which includes monitoring all the systems, like the fuel consumption. By the time they realized they were out of fuel, it was too late, and the plane crashed 6 miles south of the airport. They were so focused in, laser focused on the landing gear, that they forgot to do everything else. When things happen in your business, and they will happen in your business, you cannot get down into the minutia. You need to take care of the business. Delegate, direct the traffic of other people. What do they need to do to get things done? Focus on the business. If you take care of the business and take care of your customers and take care of your employees, things will work out. Yes, as a PIC, you need to direct the traffic, who's doing what when, but you need to monitor and fly the plane. Next slide is coming up. Let's say navigate. Navigate. I'm at 7,500 feet. I need to find a place to put this plane down. Okay. Fortunately, I had my maps with me. I had my GPS in there, and I knew the area because we flew around there all the time. So I knew there was open farmland. I went over to the open farmland, found a place that was big enough, long enough, flat enough to actually land that plane. By knowing the area that I was in, by having access to all the information on the maps and the GPS, I had options. I had choices. You need to keep your options and choices open, but the only way you can do that is to know where you're going and how you plan to get there, right? That flight plan, where are you now, where you want to be, and the path you're taking. If you know where you're supposed to be and you find yourself off course, it's easier to get back on track. But you have to have those options, especially when issues hit. U.S. Airways Flight 1549 was leaving LaGuardia, flying down to Charlotte, North Carolina. The captain, the PIC in charge, in the left seat. The first officer had just recently been certified on the Airbus A320. So the captain said to the first officer, "You have the controls, you take us out." So we departed, lifted off, and the captain, that was a beautiful day for flying, the captain even mentioned what a lovely view of the Hudson. 2 minutes into the flight, they hit a flock of Canada geese. You've seen the size of Canada geese, right? Multiple strikes, both engines were compromised. They lost power. Captain Sully Sullenberger took command of the aircraft and he directed his first officer to start going through the checklist to recycle the engines, try to get them restarted. Well, several attempts, that wasn't working. So Sully had the radio and say, hey, we've got an issue. I'm going to try to return to LaGuardia. But then, as they were clearing the air traffic for him and everything, Sully is going over his mind, where am I, what's the altitude, what's the airspeed, and the distance. Do I have everything that I need to get there? He realized he would probably come up short. But Sully, being the experienced pilot he was, he knew all the airports around the area. He knew all of them. He'd flown into them once or twice, right? So he knew that Teterboro, just across the state line in New Jersey, was available to him. Runway was long enough, so he started making plans to go over to Teterboro Airport. But again, the altitude, they were 3,000 feet now, which is not very high, 3,000 feet, losing power, losing altitude. He decided that would be sketchy to even try that. So he started talking over with his first officer about landing in the Hudson, ditching the plane in the water. And he asked his first officer, do you have any other ideas? And the first officer said, actually, no. So Sully radioed, he said, we will be in the Hudson. He had choices, he had options, right? Plan A, of course, was to go to Charlotte. That's plan A. Plan B was to return to LaGuardia. Plan C was Teterboro. And plan D was ditch in the water. You have to have options available to you. Too many times when I talk to businesses and I say, hey, what's your plan B? Oh, I don't need a plan B because I'm going for my goal. Plan B doesn't mean you're giving up on your goal, right? Plan B means you have another way to get there. I teach in, I've got a framework called ROSCO, R-S-S-C-O. R is your result. What is the result you're after? The S is your strategy. How many, you should have multiple strategies on how you're going to achieve your goal. And then the steps or the system you follow to implement that strategy, and then the control or checkpoints you put in to measure your progress. You have to have multiple strategies. And you probably heard, right? More than one way to skin a cat. Right? 50 ways to leave your lover. There's always multiple strategies to accomplish what you're after. You have to have those options available to you. And the only way you can do that is by knowing where you are, where you're going, and how you plan to get there. Having those checkpoints in the way so you know what you can do, right? John Maxwell, he said that a leader who follows the laws of navigation can see more, can see further, and can see before others. You see more, you see further, and you see before others. That's what you need to do as a leader. You need to have those options available to you. You need to know what your strategies are and your systems. And then you follow your system, and if that system isn't producing the results you want, try something else, right? Plan B, plan C. But you need to navigate. Communicate. Communication is important, right? As I was flying with Tom, we were up at 7,500 feet. This was a mock emergency. All I had to do was put power back in, I would have been fine, right? But I'm going through the motions. So I talked to Tom, told him all the different things that I would do to communicate our problem. I would radio the airport that I had left from to say, hey, I've got an issue. I would communicate with the other air traffic in the area, let them know I had an emergency. I would switch to the emergency channel, and I would broadcast a Mayday. Now, you guys have all heard Mayday, right? That means I have a life-threatening emergency. When you say Mayday on the radio 3 times, Mayday, 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 you get immediate radio silence so that you can communicate with whoever you need to get things fixed. There's another call you may not be familiar with, PAN-PAN. PAN-PAN is, I have an emergency, it's not life-threatening. It could be something like I've lost electrical power, so all my instrumentation is out, I can't see where I'm going, something like that. But it, again, radio silence until you get that fixed. What ticks me off is when businesses wait for a Mayday call from their people. You shouldn't wait for Mayday to fix something, right? You shouldn't even let it get the PAN-PAN. If you have a plan of where you're going, you should know when you're getting off track. You should be checking your balance sheet, your profit and loss statement, you should be checking your cash flow statements to know where you are and start making that corrective action. Don't wait for PAN-PAN. Don't wait for a Mayday call. Right? But you need to communicate, especially the PIC. You need to be the person in command when an emergency happens. You need to have that clear level head where you can come in and say, here's what we're going to do to get us back on track. If the PIC doesn't take control of what's going on, things can spiral out. Air France Flight 447 was going from Brazil to Paris, France. Now, normally the Airbus A330 requires 2 pilots. But on this flight, because of the distance, because of the timing, they had 3. The captain, the PIC, and left seat, and then 2 first officers. The A330 also has a crew compartment, a little cabin, if you will, so that the pilots can take a rest, take a break. So their plan was that 2 pilots would be flying while one of them took a little nap, rested up a little bit, and then they'd switch out. So one of the first officers went back to the crew cabin. The captain, the PIC, and his first officer took the plane off, and off they went. About 3.5, 4 hours into the flight, the captain said to the first officer, time to wake up, come back in. They had a little briefing in the flight deck. And then he said, okay, captain, it's my turn to go. So he went back into the crew cabin to rest. Not more than 5 minutes after the captain walked out, the plane hit a little bit of weather over the Atlantic. It's not unusual, right? There's weather patterns all over the place. And in fact, that day, several planes had gone through that weather pattern, and they were just fine. There was no problem at all. Flight 447 hit some turbulence, which is not that bad, but there was also icing conditions. Icing, bad. What had happened was, there's a thing called a pitot tube. If you've ever seen those protrusions off the front of the aircraft and stuff, it's called a pitot tube, P-I-T-O-T. Air comes in through that tube, and then tells the onboard computer your airspeed, right? In your car, tires go along the ground, tell you how fast you're going. Here, it's the air coming in that pitot tube. The pitot tube's iced up, so no airspeed information was getting into the computer. The computer's only doing what you tell them to, and if the computer, is not getting information, or the airspeed is 0 or close to 0, the computer thinks the flight is done. So the autopilot shut down. The engines, thrusters started to shut down. There's like a domino effect. Things happen. The first officers were taken by surprise. One of the officers grabbed the joystick like you have on a computer control system, right? And starts pushing forward, trying to bring the aircraft down. The other pilot, unbeknownst to him, is pulling back. He needs to get more altitude. Well, one pulling up, the other one pushing down. The computer said, well, I'm getting varying information, so I'm just ignoring it. Basically what they did. So there's no airspeed coming in. All these other systems are starting to screw up. The plane is rolling to the right, so one pilot shifts to the left, overcompensates. So the plane is rolling, it's pitching, and things are just going crazy. The captain comes in, steps into the crew compartment and says, what happened? What's going on? What's happening? One guy is saying, I'm pulling up. The other pilot is saying, no, nose down. And the captain just kept repeating, what's going on? And you listen to the tapes, there's very little direction going on in that cabin. The PIC did not come in and take control of the situation to walk the pilots through what was going on. Icing is nothing new. Pilots experience it all the time. They know what to do to get through it. And you're monitoring, your other systems to make sure your wings are level, your nose is level, you're flying. They didn't do that, and the captain didn't take control. The nose, from a 3-degree nose up attitude, went up to 13 degrees, went up to 30 degrees, went up to 40 degrees. The engines were on full thrust as fast as they could go as if they were taking off. The plane stalled. From 38,000 feet, belly flop into the Atlantic. All it would take was the pilot in command to step in and say, you do this, you do that, or I have the controls and take over and start directing traffic. That's all it would have taken, but it didn't happen. When things happen in your business, and you don't have to, I know some of you may not be business people, you may not own businesses. You could be the president of your homeowner association. You could be the chair of a committee at your church or your school or some nonprofit. Whatever it is that you do where you've been given control, you need to be able to step in when things hit the fan, which they will. and be able to start directing traffic. You need to take control of what's going on, right? Too often, like Walter talked about earlier, too often we're thinking about what the other person is going to be saying to us when we're communicating, right? Or we don't hear them, we're listening to the script we have in our mind. If any of you are in a relationship, have you ever done that? Where you've scripted how that conversation is going to go, and then when the other person doesn't follow your script, then, oh, by the way, you haven't shared with anybody, you get mad at them, right? That happens a lot. It can't happen in emergency situations like this. You have to be able to listen. I read a story about a pilot who was flying out of his local area, his little airport. And he was so used to the routine, right? You take off, you make a left turn, you climb to 4,000 feet, and you hold, and then until the tower tells you to go up to 7,000 feet, and then you can depart the airport, right? So he gets out there, and radios the tower, hey, ready for departure. Radios tower says, hey, depart, and climb to 3,000, hold at 3,000. Guy wrote it down, just were taught to write down everything the tower says. He took off, turned left, climbed to 4,000 feet, and held 4,000. Now there's some radio traffic, so he couldn't get back to the tower immediately, but eventually he got back on the tower and said, tower, we're holding 4,000. And the tower said, what flight level were you cleared at? The guy looks at his notes, and he swallowed the card, and he goes, yeah, I'm sorry, yeah, 3,000, but can I have 4,000? And the tower said, no, you're cleared to 7,000 immediately. And by the way, the reason we had you holding at 3,000 is because we had an emergency, and there's a plane in a holding pattern at 4,000. Because that pilot was listening to his own internal dialogue, thinking it's going to be a typical day, every day, up to 4,000. Because he was listening to himself rather than what the tower told him, he encroached on that airspace, and it could have ended in disaster. So as you're communicating, you have to listen to what's going on around you. You have to listen to the people that you're talking with, right? Don't think about what you think they're going to say. Listen to what they're actually saying. Communication is tough. My wife says communication is an away game, right? It's not what you say, it's what the other person hears, right? Too often, we'll say something and expect the other person to understand what it is we're saying. In aviation, we have three parts of communication. The message was sent, the message was received, and the message was understood. Sent, received, and understood. If it was sent and nobody got it, did you communicate? If they received it, can't figure out what the heck you're talking about, how do you communicate? No. Right? You want to make sure that all three of those parts are in place. When I communicate, I choose words because they are important to me. I pick the words because I have certain meaning that I attach to the word, certain connotation that I attach to the word. What you on the receiving end may have a different meaning to that word, different connotation, right? If I say sports car, you all have an image of a sports car in your mind. I guarantee it's not the same image I have. And even if I said a red sports car, your image is going to be different. The color red, the shade is going to be different. I have to be clear, especially in emergency situations. I need to communicate with you so there's no ambiguity. You have to know what I know, see what I see, and hear what I hear, right? People ask in military and in aviation, why are there so many acronyms? Have you guys ever wondered that? Why are there so many acronyms? Because it removes all that ambiguity. Mark, if I said, hey, have you ever done that breathy, airy, breathy thing? It's like, yeah, but no idea what I'm talking, right? You talk about that snoring mask you wear? No. But if I said scuba, which is an acronym, right? Self-contained underwater breathing apparatus. If I say scuba, you know exactly what it is I'm talking about. In military and in aviation, there are acronyms that they use, and that's why, because there is no ambiguity. Whatever is said is communicated immediately. Okay? And we're also taught to read back in aviation. We're taught to read back. If the tower says do X, you read back to them. That lets them know that the communication was received and it was understood, and they can correct it if it wasn't. As a leader, you need to make sure that you set the example for your folks, exactly how you want them to communicate with you, exactly how you want to receive communication, and things like that. You also want to make sure that the environment is safe for people to come up and say, I don't understand, without being chastised. You want them to be able to come up and say, I don't think this is the best option for us. Have we considered this or that? without them being chastised. Yes, there's a time where it has to be one-way communication, do this now. But other times, if you're passing ideas around, your people should be able to come up to you and say, hey, there's a story out of Canada, a small regional jet was getting ready to take off. They had been cleared. They actually taxied out the runway, but then they were put on hold while the tower dealt with another small plane that was coming in. As they were sitting there waiting, the passengers were looking out the window and saw snow accumulating on the wings. We talked earlier about ice, right? Snow was accumulating. The people called the flight attendant over and said, is that a problem? And the flight attendant looked and said, yeah, that's, but I think it's okay. And she did not say anything to the pilots. Iced up, the controls were frozen, and the plane crashed. I'm sorry to give you all these bad stories, but you never hear about the planes that land. You know there's 16 million planes that land safely every single day, right? You get that? The only ones you ever hear about are the ones that crash. This one crashed. The flight attendant was one of the only surviving people in that crash. And when they asked her why she didn't say anything, she said she was never taught to question the pilot. And never taught to question somebody or something that was clearly the pilot's responsibility. Don't let that happen in your business. Make a clear, easy environment for your folks to come in and say, what if, and what can you do, right? Anyway, so back to the story, back to me. 7,500 feet, pucker factor in place, but because of my training, because of the confidence that Tom gave to me, I was able to aviate, get the plane level, the attitude correct, the altitude, the airspeed. I was able to navigate, to look at my charts, look at the GPS, find my way to where we need to go to land, and communicate. I was able to talk through the communication I would do with Tom, talk to Tom and tell him we're getting ready for emergency, when seatbelt on, everything we go through on the big planes. I was able to do that because of the training that I have. To rely on that training and remember that mantra. Now again, all of you are leaders, whether you intended to be leaders or not, whether you think yourself a leader or not, you are a leader. People are watching you, seeing what you do, and they're going to follow your example. Which makes you wonder, what kind of example are you setting, right? A lot of leadership traits and qualities we're going to be talking about here today and stuff. The values of a leader. Honesty, integrity, charity, diligence, and compassion. All make up what a leader is. You guys are all leaders and people are watching you. So what I would like, I know you're going to listen to everybody today and you're going to take their leadership traits and qualities and stuff. Take those to heart. Write those down. I hope you take these notes. Spell my name right. And take notes. You put these in your life. Use these things. Okay? And if I could get you to remember one part of this presentation, if I could get you guys to think differently about leaders, to think differently about thinking like a leader, especially when things happen, I would give you that same mantra that they taught me in flight school, the same thing that I've used over the years, the thing that has helped me and has helped my coaching clients and stuff. When, not if, when the poo-poo hits the fan, always stop, take a breath, and remember to aviate, navigate, and communicate. Thank you.